I'm Johnny Lieberman, and you're watching LNP. What does LNP stand for?
Late Night Playset.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've been on there. Yeah, it's a good show. You should like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Late night, woo! Let's get some subbies!
Guys, your churros were a hit. They're gone. Killed it. Nice job. Love the MC life. What's up? This is what it's all about right here. Right? Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, you guys? We'll get the whole thing happening here. Oh, that's sad. Sad and pathetic. Oh, I need to do it. Oh, for next week. This is sad. Oh, boy. Needs, not Flonase. That's the one for your nose. What's the one for your downtown when you need a little more?
Douche.
Don't. That's definitely not it. Moving on. Good Lord. My wife, everybody.
Try to think of another
Please
word.
stop. One thing. I got so much stuff that I need to do tonight. Please don't throw me off now. You know, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, but you know it's okay, right? Okay, good. All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's see. We'll kill some echo in here. I think I got the red lights going during the music, so that's good. Danny's laughing at me, I know. I'm probably laughing at you, I think. No, I mean like the Larry David episode where he takes a pill and then he pees more. He gets the flow going. There's a hydra flow, one of those type of things. It's definitely not what you said. Different purpose.
I think it
Oh
all
my
back.
God. No, don't. Because this moment will get to live in infamy right here.
Scaring me so far.
Poor Fireball. We'll get to it. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Let's bring it in here. There we go. Get serious here. We got a real show to do. For goodness sake, there's things to talk about. People see. Fireball Tim's here this evening because it is Thursday, June 24th, 2021. My name's Jay Ryan. The lady to my right is Nicole Ryan. And we're excited that Fireball Tim is finally here. I feel like we have... Oh, Fireball Tim the second.
I don't know what the right call sign is. We'll throw up whatever. Hope for the best.
Whatever you're doing now is how I'm screwing up every possible handshake and fist bump and whatever we're supposed to do these days because everybody's sort of in the middle.
I kind of do this shake fist, grab, hug. Thing that happens.
I'll make sure that mic is live for you. No, now your mic is live. He said he does some sort of a shake fist, whatever. I find that I go whatever it is, I am trying to meet what I think. I'm trying to meet what I think the other person wants, and that's the wrong way to do it. You got to do with whatever you're comfortable with.
Right.
The problem in my case is that I just want a hug. I'm so damn sensitive. Air fist bump. Air fist bump. Oh, but that could look like other things.
There's the shoe kick.
Shoe kick is a thing. Fireball Tim's saying. All right, well, let's bring the Instagram.
I'm Johnny
over here.
Lieberman, and
See what you got. Oh, that wasn't it. There we go. We got it. Happy birthday, Sergio Pop Siderman. How cool is that? Pop710 on the Instagram. Happy birthday, Sergio. He's the one who had the, remember when we went to the F1?
Hangar looking thing.
Yeah, the F1
Happy
viewing party.
birthday.
Very cool. Whoopsie daisy. Fireball is everywhere. Where else have you been, Fireball? Spike's probably, obviously.
I drove a lot today. I left at like 9 this morning, and I pretty much hit every stop I could think of on my way here.
Oh,
So I hit.
you're in Malibu? Are you in
I'm in Malibu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
so
went-
you if you're coming
went
this
to-
far east, you may as well make a day of it.
Yeah, I went to Tony Dow's house. I went to the top of Topanga, had a snack up there.
Tony
Right.
Dow, as in Wally of Leave It to
Yeah.
Beaver fame.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Oh, gee, Wally. He's a personal friend of yours, right?
He's a very good friend. Yeah.
We'll talk about all that stuff in a few minutes. I have to. All right. I need everyone's help is really what it comes down to, because here you guys are my therapy. And do you remember how we ended the show? What we were talking about last week about there was like some potential drama with a car show.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that has progressed, and I thought that perhaps I would just. Here's full transparency, right? When I was a kid, I would not have done this. I would have been like, it doesn't really matter. Full transparency here. I want you guys to know how it went down from my perspective, how it went down just in a whatever. And then I want you guys to tell me if it's just me or if there's something else here, because I think I know what's up, but I should stop talking now is really what it comes down to. All right. Okay. So on Sunday, and I think I can do all of this. I need to tell you guys the drama because I just need to, because it's progressed, it's advanced, and I need to get it out of me. Remember last week I told you the story about Jay Leno and how the time that he was on the plane, and basically he was just minding his own business, but somebody else did something that made them seem like he was looking for attention, which of course he was not. He was minding his own business, taking a nap on the plane. Okay. Danny! Motoring While Black says, Danny! So, this is juicy. Tom's here. Hey, everybody. All right, so you're all with us here. Let me make sure that you are in the feed here as well. And Fireball Tim, you are a car show guy. You've thrown your own car shows. You have a bunch of your own that you've done in the past and currently, or?
Yeah. We have shows that we're doing now, and
Yeah.
and we just go to a lot.
Well, let's. I want your take on this too. Then maybe
Sure.
that's and earlier this year, even though it turned out to be not anything to do with you, you were involved in some car show drama because people thought that you were trying to shut Malibu down, which of course wasn't even remotely true.
At this point, I've been on both sides. I've been blamed, and I've been blamed for shutting the show down, and blamed for keeping the show going. So I'm not sure what position to take. So I just put my head down. I go and take pictures and do what I do, and I don't know what the hell's going on now.
All right. Well, you guys all know me, so you know that it irks me from not I want to get you back kind of way. It irks me from you don't understand me at all, and do you want to, or do I need to move on? It's one of those. Danny is LMAFOOOOO. Okay. It's me. Johnny is here. Paul G. Photo is here. All right. This is good. All right. So I don't normally like confrontation. I'm like George McFly. I'm just not very good at confrontation. So I guess, should I give the backstory? I should give the backstory. I don't want to say any names here, and I intend to not say any names because I think I can do that I don't think any of the names matter. There was a car show last year, a big event, a festival.
Okay.
that couldn't happen because of COVID. And they called us and said, hey, can you help us out and put something together? Help us put something together with us, whatever. And we did. And we helped them out. And it was fun. I thought it was fine. We got a nice thank you gift afterwards that said, great job and we appreciate you and the whole bit. Okay. So that's the last. That thank you gift is the last correspondence I've had with anyone from this organization, and that was a year ago. Then the other day, and they're getting ready to do it again, but live. Back how they always used to do it.
Not virtual.
Not virtual.
Okay.
Well said. So, and I should put the YouTube comments up here as well because I always forget that. And then they get upset. All right, good. We're live. So I get this message the other day from this organization. Y'all coming? And I respond back with, hi, peace, love, and checker flag, like I always do. Not sure. No one's reached out to make arrangements yet, if that's what you mean. And then they respond later with the arrangements. It's for everyone. Come. And I was like, is this just are they just cold calling people? Like, if that's what it is, then I misunderstood. Generally, people reach out to us to come to their event. And I'm not trying to be a dick about that. That's just how it is. We don't go to many things. You can't walk. If somebody wants us at their thing, we want to be there. And if they don't, we don't. I don't know. It seems like a pretty simple mathematical equation to me. But anyway, I said, forgive me, but I'm not sure who runs this account. Am I talking to someone who knows us? And thank you with this laughing and stars. I only asked, and this is me still, and this is after a few minutes. I said, I only asked because Nicole is in a wheelchair, and an event like this is not possible for us unless special arrangements are made. No disrespect to you or the fantastic California Festival of Speed. What arrangements are needed? I'm like, this is it doesn't work. Do you, like, we need to start way further back than where you think we are. And I said, may I ask who this is? And they said, it's Sandy. I said, well, I don't know anyone named Sandy. Sandy from Greece is pretty much the only Sandy I know. Sandy from SpongeBob, there's a Sandy there. You know what I mean? But I don't know any Sandys myself. I said, I don't think we know one another, do we, Sandy? She says, no, nice to meet you. She said, I'm sure there will be wheelchair access. It'll be fun for all, with a smiley face. I said, who is handling your VIP invites, Sandy, or hospitality? She said, I'll have someone contact you. What's your email? I give my email, thanks very much, with a peace, heart, and checkered flag, like I always do. And they said, thanks. And I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think about this thing before. I didn't think about it after. Then, now I got to switch to email. All right, everybody with me still? We've burned up enough time here. It's been 10 minutes on this already. Carissable says Greece. Carissable, I got to talk about you in a few minutes, too, and the generous gift you just sent us. Or should we wait until it arrives and then I'll do it on the show? Probably both. The way I talk, probably both. Okay, so here we go. Now allow me to... Drama, man. So if you remember, this story started with, like, weird shit just happens to me. Like, I'm a weird guy with the best of intentions. But there's a certain subset of people that really can't see through that. They can't see that I'm weird. They just think I'm like them, and they can't see that the communication isn't landing. I can see it. I can see it. I can see the disconnect, but the other side can't see it. It's weird.
I've been on both sides. It's weird.
So allow me. I don't know what's taking me so long here. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. Now again, I'm not going to say names. But I got an email from somebody who said, "Hi Jay, I think you spoke to our social media person about the festival. I'm handling the VIP. How are you doing? What are you thinking of contributing to the festival? What accommodations do you need?" And it's signed with a name now that is different than Sandy. Even though I have noticed that the tone seems to be suspiciously similar in the cadence and the variety of the way things are said and phrased. I said, first of all, I had no intention of, I was in the middle of getting ready for the show. Like, there's other things that I didn't really anticipate doing this. So I said, all right, hi, no name. Hope you guys are well. Actually, your social media person reached out to us asking if we were coming to California Festival of Speed. Whoops. I
was waiting for that one.
Well, you all could have put it together. I said I explained shit. That was unintended. But this is the nature of me. This is why the intentions are good, but you can't trust me with a secret because I am so goddamn honest. And here it is. I wear it everywhere. You can see it. I said I reached out. We were coming to that place. I explained we hadn't been contacted about it yet, but that if asked to attend, Nicole can't stand up on her own anymore, so she's in a wheelchair full time and would need access to a hospitality area, etc. To me, that means cold drinks, air conditioning, restroom, etc. The things that are obviously provided to a certain people who qualify for it within their opinion, apparently. She said she would have someone contact me, and here we are. Said we had a great time supporting the California Festival of Speed. Here we go again. When we were asked to fill in last year, and we'd be happy to do it again. Conversely, if your social media person was mistaken by contacting us, no worries at all. Just let me know. Many, many thanks. I feel like I'm covered here, and I can go on with my day. Oh, here we go. Hi, Jay. Same person. I know our social media person is reaching out to everyone to get them excited for our event. Yes, we would love to have you attend. Everyone is welcome. I think there will be wheelchair access, so you should be okay! Exclamation point. Thanks. And the person. I think this name to me is familiar. It's familiar. And then I looked it up on social media, and I saw who this person is. Okay, the person I'm now talking to is someone who's been on this show, everybody. And here's where the drama comes in. This is where the dirt comes in that I don't believe has anything to do with Festival of Speed. That's right, I said it again. I guess I'm starting a war. It wasn't intended. I feel like you started, and here I am just letting everyone else know what's going on. So that's my position on this. Fireball, you're here on a good night. It's 5:20 in the PM here on the West Coast, if you're paying attention. Nicole Ryan, Jay Ryan, Late Night Playset. Okay, so I looked this person up. This person has been on the show before. This person was here with her husband and or boyfriend, significant other, whatever. Writing partner, producing partner, whatever.
Okay.
Does that tell you who it is yet? No, we've had a lot of those people. But, this one was interesting because you're not going to be able to find this episode, folks. This was a long time ago, enough that I didn't remember it. And this is when the story gets juicy. Fireball's going to be about 5:30 when you're in here. Okay. After we were done with this episode, and back then it used to take us a hell of a lot more effort than it did now to be able, now we go live and it's up and everything's great. In the old days, it was like there was post-production. It was a whole to-do to get this damn show up so that people could see it. So this person was here. I thought we had a great time. In fact, I think I remember having a really good time. I kind of want to go back and watch that episode now and see what happened. And then we got a phone call or an email or something saying that one of them, when they saw it back, talk show remorse. They said something that they thought might offend somebody or whatever, and they wanted us to pull the episode down. I understand that. I've been there before. It's irksome to me because, well, we put a lot of effort in. And then now that's gone. That's irksome. But I totally get the positioning and the understanding. I get that. So we did. Took it down. No problem. No questions asked. Never thought about it again. That's all I know. Now we're to now. And of course, as I said on the show Thursday, this is not for us. We've never been to this thing before. I think it's a wonderful event. I know from other people who have gone, it's a wonderful event. It has nothing to do with the people who put on the event or the event itself. I can't figure out what's going on in the backstage here. You know, the backstage area, there's a little bit of tomfoolery. So I said, hi, unfortunately, this is a little more serious for us and we need a more concrete answer for matters like this. Are you saying there is wheelchair access and that she will have access to a hospitality area with bathroom, AC, etc.? Now the niceties are gone, and the response is, I think you can check out the Auto Club Speedway website for their information on all wheelchair information. Thanks! Exclamation point. Ooh, look at that. Did you just see the reaction from Fireball Tim? Ooh, man, that was good. Are you okay? That's how I felt, too. Oh, Instagram. Yeah, everybody over here. That Porsche girl's here. Tedward's here. Some guy in 997. The Porsche girl, you're going to this event, so this is interesting. Sorry if it's drama. I said, terrific. I'll check that out. Thanks for all your help. X name. Also, who is the chairperson for the event this year? And I'm asking because I was on a daily basis, communication basis with the person who did it last year. And I'm curious if it's the same person or if it's different because Stan Kaplan was doing all this last year. Stan the man. So, you know what I mean? Like there was a very open communication. This is somebody who very clearly has an axe to grind or just whatever. Like I said, if this is a mistake, cut bait. Let us go. We're good. All good. Anyway, so then she gave me the name. It's the same one as last time. And I said, awesome, thanks again. And I, again, go about my day. Later I come back, would you like her email? And I say, haha, it's not like that, X name. Not for me anyway, I promise. I am sensing some tension on this chain today, though I don't really know why. Do you want to jump on the phone real quick to try to resolve, or am I just being sensitive and reading it all wrong, which I do sometimes? Hi, Jay. Oh, dear, no tension at all. I've been swamped with a million emails here. If you can't find the information on the site about wheelchair access, let me know and we can help find the information. Thank you. So I just responded with, somehow our wires are still crossed, as wheelchair access information for Auto Club was not a goal of mine to figure out today. And I have not heard back since, and I didn't think about it again till we talked about it on the show. And no, we talked about it on the show, and no, this was all before. That's right. We talked about it on the show, and I didn't think about it again until today when I wanted to review all that so that it was fresh in my mind. I intended to do this without doing what I just did, and then I realized earlier today that I couldn't. In reviewing what I just reviewed, I saw that California Festival of Speed had unfollowed both Porsche Life 111 and the Late Night Playset account.
Whoa.
They still follow Good Vibes. I guess they don't know that's us. And I suspect as of tomorrow that they probably won't anymore. Anyway, that's what's going on from my side. Officially, we will not be attending the California Festival of Speed this year. The Ryans will not be in attendance. So I hope everyone has a great time. We do wish everyone great luck with the event. But as far as the dealings I've had so far, have a good one.
It's going to be less speedy because you guys aren't there. For sure.
I don't know about that. I think they'll have a grand old time without us. But I just, it's one of those things. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Did I overreact? Am I overreacting?
I think there's a ton of miscommunication, but it wasn't respected certainly on the incoming. Like what you needed was not. In my old life, like I'd be fired for that.
Yeah, no, that's kind of my point. That was my point. And it's not because we're special. It's because we're anybody. That's my point.
Right. It's just not paid attention to the right way.
Right.
Is what I'd be told.
It's all good. It's just weird. So anyway, that brings me to this week's giveaway. This was a lovely thank you this is As Seen on TV, folks. This was a lovely thank you to us from that organization last year for all the niceties that we did. And this year, we're going to be giving it away. So if you want this, the thing was going to be all you have to do is guess the event, but I've blown that. How about this? All you got to do is show up for Breakfast Club tomorrow and tell me you want it. First one who asks for it gets it. It's that simple. It's a beautiful piece of artwork. It has nothing to do with Festival of Speed. I would have hung this in our house as we intended to. There are so many other pieces. We simply didn't get to it yet. But now I don't want to look at it. But the truth is, none of this is with anger or animosity. I'm totally willing to put this back together, not to go to the event, but like from a goodwill standpoint. I think whatever's going on is bullshit. So if you want to clear it up, you know where I am.
Not all vibes are good.
No, and I'm not trying to promote bullshit or bad vibes. I'm just saying this irks my good vibes.
Yeah.
So I don't want any part of it.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
I love Fireball Tim. All right, with that. All right, so let's see. There's some stuff that we can totally knock off the schedule. I be there as you pull in. Well, we won't be there. I'm there for the tired plan. Oh, GVBC. Sorry, they're talking. Yes, we'll all be there. Which by tomorrow should be unfollowed by California Festival of Speed, I would imagine. All right, so the announcements. Real quick, I want to say that 28 years ago, I was a little kid in high school working on this show. This was a very struggling show that was filling in a studio that had great success. Very nice, great success. This is me leaning through the original window of Late Night with Conan O'Brien in, this might have been 94, 93, 94, but in the very early beginning of the show. Oh, sorry, Instagram, you can't see that there. And it was an incredible experience. You guys know the story already. I was 16 years old and I was interning at 30 Rock. The Good Vibes master. I'm not a master, man. That's why I did this, because I don't know how to handle everything. I need other people's help, like we all do. Anyway, 28 years later, cut to 28 years later, and Conan's going off the air tonight. That's it. It's in fact, he is recording as we are the very last episode of his nightly show. He'll be back in some form on the HBO Max.
Yeah.
But this is something that's close to both of our hearts because I was there as a kid, and it's Studio 6A where Letterman used to be. Like, it's really, really close to my heart. But you also used to work with Andy Richter for years and years and years. Like, really, I mean, you're probably still his publicist of record.
Probably on record, yeah. But I was there when they started this incarnation of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So
we used to bring all our friends to it the first year.
Yeah.
When they still had the big studio in the band.
Totally. And I used to book people all the time, separately.
That's what I mean. Anytime we were there, our friends would always come and sit in the audience whenever we had a client on.
Right.
I'm trying to think of Tracy Morgan. We went there with a number of times. Rob Cordry we went with a number of times. Nick Swartzen. I'm trying to think. Like probably every one of your old clients, I guess.
Yeah.
They were all within that kind of pocket where they would have worked on Conan.
Totally. We had them there all the time. Like, was really good about breaking talent and being willing to have new people on.
Yep.
So I've known him for years because we used to have, like, people that no one else were big enough to book. We'd put them there, and we did really fun stuff.
Yeah. It was a weird show because I didn't love it at first because it wasn't Dave. You know what I mean? I was upstairs working on Saturday Night Live. That was Saturday Night Live. And then I was down here working on Late Night, but it wasn't Dave. And apparently that's how America felt too. Because as I put in my Instagram post today, we were getting picked up by the weekly pickups for Late Night. I mean, usually it's years.
That's unheard of.
And if it's if they're playing in risky waters, it's months, 3-6 months kind of thing. Weeks. By the not multiple weeks, by the week. Every Friday. Are we coming in on Monday?
It's really unheard of.
Yeah, pretty crazy. All right, so god damn. Good luck to all of the people at Conan. I'm trying to think. A lot of the people that I worked with are still there today. We saw them a couple years ago when we would go to Conan. Yeah. So just shout out to everybody. That's where I really learned all of this. We wouldn't have been able to build this in our home if I didn't spend the time there learning how they all did it. So pretty amazing, Conan. All right, and the other thing, real quick, this is very quick, but I just want to give a shout out because he's our buddy. Sean Lindauer got a new toy.
Oh, my.
Mr. Sean Lindauer traded up again, and he's now into his third Porsche. If you guys couldn't see on Instagram, that there is a 991 GT3. It'll be up at Breakfast Club tomorrow. I can't wait to drive it and check it out. It's not just stock either. I guess he's done a lot of stuff to it. Not him, but the previous owner did a lot of stuff to it. So it's kind of already built and sort of crest ready. So I'm excited for him. I don't know what Fajita's going to do because Fajita used to ride in the back of his 991, but now there's a roll cage back there. So Fajita the Frenchie is the little dog. Or maybe a new bed in the front or something.
I have to figure something else out.
Yeah, we will. All right, so there's that. Conan, Sean Lindauer, GVBC. Come on up to GVBC tomorrow. Oh, geez, get this back in the studio here. Come on up, get your dual shift hat or your GVBC shirt or your GVBC sticker pack. And, of course, I say GVBC because of our GVBC weather girl, who, of course, did not report for work today. So I don't have an update from Dasha. But I can tell you, by looking at the iPhone, that it is going to be... Drum roll, please. 88 is what it is right now. Tomorrow, 77 degrees when we get there. And about 88 when we leave.
It's way better than it was last week.
Last week was intolerable. Oh, man. I left right at 11 o'clock.
It seemed really hot. Like, everyone had, like, melting horror stories.
It was just too hot. I took the trash out right at 11 with the intention of coming back and sitting under the tree with everybody, but having gotten the wind in my hair, so to speak, and it moved down, to the trash and then back, I was like, all right, guys, so I intended on staying, but I'm out of here. Have a good one. And I think everybody else did too. It was just crazy. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I delayed. I bet you would have loved this during all that storage before. All right, Probably. Which one do you want? Dirty Heads, Lift Me Up, Tangy, Jack Herrera, or Skittles?
Skittles, please.
Skittles. What I missed, Danny? I literally just talked to her. Oh, that's funny. Well, let her know. It'll be between 77 and 88. Is that what it said? There you go.
Yes.
Enjoy your Skittles. This is courtesy of Tradecraft Farms and our friends over at Sticky Vape. Did that work?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, good.
Thanks, guys.
All right. And now, let's see, commercials or get our guest in here. I'm going to wipe off East Coast Feed. Talked way too much. Story time. Love first is what I wrote here as my note. Then I wrote love first as my note, an exclamation, then release. Hashtag giveaway. Those were my notes for that story.
Oh, my.
I do. I love everybody, including those people. Why don't you? Here's the thing. If you didn't like what you said, in my opinion, you're video people. You should have put out a little video going like, here's what I meant by that. And then we could have gotten traction back and forth. Like there was all sorts of other ways to do it. And or come back and let's do it again. Like the whole thing is so silly to me. And or we really did, by the way, let's not forget this possibility. Maybe we really did do something to upset the California Festival of Speed, in which case, apologies. Total apologies. Didn't intend it. I'm sorry. Have a great event. All right. You know our next guest from all the comic books lately, for God's sake. Spike Feresten, our buddy Magnus Walker. They have all been immortalized in the form of black and white pages that you get to put all the add all the color to. That's right, kids. I heard it. I swallowed Steve Carell for a second. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I think he's got some coloring books, so we're going to see him. But Fireball, come on in here and let's talk about all this stuff. Cars, car shows, coloring books with Fireball Tim. He's coming on in.
Where do I sit?
You're going to sit
there.
right here.
Right there.
Right here. And I think I have some. There's the interlude music. You go. And make sure that's, you can bring that over to you and fire it up wherever you need it to be. Sorry, it's a little
Good.
flaccid at the moment.
All right.
Fireball,
What's up?
it's good to see you.
It's good to be seen. Thank you for allowing me to come in and disrupt your amazing show with my nonsense.
Did you see what we've been doing so far? I'm disrupting our show.
I know. Oh, look. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I've
the
never
camera
seen
five.
so many iPhones in my life in one place, other than like a concert or
We
something.
need 2 more, so if you know of any. Oh, that killed it. Tough room.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. All right.
I had to get the Instagram audience over. Whoops, I got
Are they over there?
here so that they can then they can see the whole thing that's going on. Because otherwise,
Right on.
Otherwise, they're looking at me and they don't get to see Fireball.
It is so cool in here. This is
Letterman liked it cold.
You guys did a great. No, not cool, as in like I'm
fun.
freezing my ass off. It's bitchin'. How about that? That's
Oh.
a term that only 50-year-olds use.
It's
at this point.
Take it. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank
yeah.
you. That was the intention. It was if you build it, they will come for sure.
Yeah. Not everybody does this well. People try, but you guys have done this really well.
I don't want you to give a list of people who have failed at it, but I would like to know what you mean by that.
Yeah, you don't necessarily. Well, design is a challenge.
Oh,
You know.
I see your point.
So when you're, if you were going to redo your kitchen, you would have an idea for what you want your kitchen to be. You would have an idea, and it's hard to merge because one person wants beige and one person wants green and things like that. But when you have theme, when you start out with theme, it's much easier for people to merge because within that theme, like in our museum, we just redid the bathrooms, and the women's bathroom is a Barbie
you
bathroom.
have a museum?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we should almost back up because I guess I don't know as much about you. I've known of you. You may not know this. I've known of you since like 2007. Whenever I built my Back to the Future
Yikes.
DeLorean.
Wow.
What is that? What?
2007.
What's the matter? Are you trying
I'm trying
know
to
where
think
you
of
were
what the
back
hell
then?
I was doing in 2007. Yeah.
Well, I don't know that we ever got to meet. That's just it. I think because of it was a time machine DeLorean.
Yeah.
Danny Bodkin was the guy, and then he knew Nate Truman, and
Oh,
then
yeah,
Nate
yeah.
Truman knew Charger Steve and Fireball Tim. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, what the shit is Charger Steve and Fireball Tim? I go, are these guys for real? Like, are they characters or whatever? He goes, oh, they're characters. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. Well, then I totally
Yeah, but
get it.
Charger's a nickname. Fireball's not a nickname.
Fireball's your name?
That's my name. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I'd give you my license, but it's over there.
No, I believe you. My
Yeah.
name's just the letter J, and people always give me shit, but I have to pull out my license as well.
Yeah. So you got to prove it. But no, Fireball's my given name.
No shit. Was it a first name? Your first name?
Well,
middle name.
No, first name. First name. The thing is, if my mom yelled "heads up" as I was coming up, then I would have a really weird name. But we had come from a Hollywood family. My parents were writers in Hollywood for years, since the '60s.
I don't know.
Yeah. Twilight Zones, Outer Limits,
What?
Bonanza, every show
You're
of the 60s.
kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was a kid in high school, I had one of these little shows because you could, as long as you did it, you could do it.
Yeah.
And one of the guests I had on was an actor from All My Children, but he was on Bonanza, David Canary.
Oh yeah. Well, my
I don't get to bring up Bonanza very often, so.
my dad was the guy behind the Cartwright Curse. You ever heard of the Cartwright Curse?
No.
Okay, so the
Oh wait, yes, I have.
right?
Yeah.
So the
What do you
three
mean he's
boys,
Bonanza?
they don't look alike at all. Right? The three guys don't look alike, and they never explained that. So they had to create backstories that every time Ben got married, he got married to a different lady, they would have a child, and then my dad would have to off the wife. So it was Eva, my love, Ingrid, my love, Elizabeth, my love, and those were the three stories over three, shows, over a few seasons. And he had to, she got an arrow in the eye, one got, sliced here and there or eaten by Indians. I don't know what it was. It was just, it was a mess. So he had to come up with the Cartwright Curse.
You, like creatively speaking, in TV especially, you could do anything you wanted back then, couldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Like
nowadays.
anything was, as long as they're seeing it on the box and it's
Yeah.
all lit up, like,
Nowadays, you're a staff writer. So you're on one show and you work that show. Back then, you could work on 6 shows at once.
Was it still the studio system then? So was it like 6 shows for one network or one studio kind of
No,
thing?
no, you could.
Oh,
work
you're
for different-
freelance
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah, you could write for anybody you wanted at the
Oh,
time.
wow.
Yeah, so he was all over the place. He wrote 3 original Elvis movies.
You're
Through
kidding.
the early 60s.
Your
yeah.
dad?
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing. Do
He's-
people know this about you? I mean, it's
I
very
don't know.
fascinating.
You guys don't. I mean,
Fair
but,
enough.
I think that my dad, as far as in that circle, my dad's very well known. He was there was a snippet of him at the Academy Awards, this last one, mentioning him. He lives at the Motion Picture Home at the moment.
Oh,
But, he's had a stellar career. Has 3,500 published pieces. So it's just amazing career as a writer in Hollywood.
yeah. So wait, and you said your mom too?
Yeah, my mom became a writer kind of when we all grew up. So in the early 80s, they did the new Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I watched
And
it. That's
yeah.
the one I watched that made me appreciate the original.
Yeah, so they wrote and produced that show, and they brought in a lot of original people. When I was growing up as a kid, it wasn't uncommon for Harlan Ellison to stop by, for the guy that wrote Somewhere in Time.
A friend of mine directed
Richard
that movie.
Matheson.
I can't.
Yeah.
Janos Vark is a very good friend of mine.
Amazing film. One of my
Yeah.
favorite all-time films, especially because of the music.
He considers that his most important movie, his favorite and most important movie.
Yeah,
Christopher Reeve.
it was
I've still never
really-
seen it. Everyone
Yeah.
says it's amazing.
Yeah, well, back then also you didn't have the luxury of doing special effects and things like that. Now it's like, we don't know how to do this. We'll CG it in post, and that'll be that, right? But back then,
We'll
you
hire
actually,
the company who knows how to do it in post.
Yeah, you had to write those stories. Those stories were about characters, and you had spit and gum and some cans and string. That was your special effects.
Yeah.
Back then, you had to really. That's why Twilight Zone's why we love Twilight Zone so much, is that they really got in depth. And I actually published a book for my dad and my brother, and they wrote 30-second pitches. And you could actually buy that on Amazon now. So I mean, a lot of people that have purchased that book have read those pitches and say, "Hey, can I make a movie out of this idea?"
I love it.
Because
I
they're all
want it.
Twilight Zone-y kind of things, and they're genius. My dad is a conceptual genius.
That same guy, Janot, used to direct. What was the TV show? Night Gallery. He used to direct a lot of night galleries,
Right.
and that's in the same
Yeah.
kind of genre.
My dad was the first writer that Gene Roddenberry went to write the pilot for Star Trek.
No kidding.
And he said no because he was doing Bonanza at the time.
We finally watched 3 years later. We finally got to Fahrenheit 451. We just watched it last night. Have you seen that one?
The new one or the original?
No, the new one, the one with Michael B. Jordan or
I
whatever.
didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't bring myself to watch that.
The other guy, I kind of felt the same way about him. And it has nothing to do with him because I don't know him as an actor, but I felt that in this role. But the other guy, Michael Shannon, he's so stinking good in everything he does that he held the movie up for us. But that story is so now.
Yeah.
My God, is it now?
Yeah.
Sorry, you brought up Gene Roddenberry. I was like, ah!
Yeah, but I have so much respect for those original writers in television because they came from nothing. There wasn't any precursor or prerequisite to writing in the 60s. My dad's inspirations were, original guys, even artists like Virgil Finlay and Leyendecker, and a lot of people that had these amazing sense of concept. And that's why, partially why I became a concept artist in film, is that I loved the idea of creating something from nothing, something conceptual, something that no one had ever seen or experienced before.
Yeah.
And that was always a challenge, And the first movie car I did was for the Batman film, the 1989 film, and that was the first time that anyone had addressed, what does the Batmobile look like that doesn't look like George's Batmobile,
So did you design that car? You
Yeah.
did? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know you designed it.
Yeah.
Holy crow. Gee whiz. So Batmobile designer, I should have said first?
Yeah, I mean,
Because Batman's on here. I know you had something to do with Batman.
well, as a concept artist,
That's the one, though, that my generation loves, the 89 Keaton Batmobile.
I think part of it, though, is the fact that it was the first since the original series.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal to see what that was going to be like. And the subsequent ones, a lot of my friends have designed subsequent ones, and they're all great. They're all amazing designs.
Agreed.
And the design languages are very different.
Very.
But, the fact that no one had really designed a serious Batmobile, although at this point, no Tim Burton movie is really serious, but
I was going to challenge you on a serious Batmobile.
yeah. But
Are any of them serious?
That was the
It's a clown
anticipation.
car by definition.
Yeah, and actually, I heard that Michael Keaton is going to come back in this next Batman movie.
Somebody just posted a clip of him as Bruce Wayne again.
Right, and it might have to do with alternate universes. It might have to do with, I know he's going to drive a Mercedes Maybach, the concept that came out in 2016, which is going to be interesting. I'm hoping that the Batmobile makes its way back.
His Batmobile.
Yeah,
your Batmobile.
yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Would you get a little something for that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then
I'm sure.
Then we're pulling for you, buddy.
I probably get Harry and David pairs. That's probably what I would get. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those because they're really awesome, though.
Maybe a muffin basket. You
Yeah,
never know.
yeah, maybe so.
You
But
never know.
yeah, probably not. It's in the Peterson Museum right now, and so.
Well, they made a bunch of them, probably, right?
They did, but there was only really one hero car. The rest of them were functional for specific purposes
Sure.
to be,
Different stunts and whatever.
or be pulled apart and a lot of that kind of stuff.
Shields on, right? Shields on.
Yeah.
Do you know Kevin Pike, the original DeLorean builder, fabricator?
No.
He used to own Film Tricks, and they were the ones hired by Amblin and Universal to build the time machines.
No.
Oh, okay.
But
He's going to be on the show soon. I should let everybody know that we locked that up. He's going to be on the show soon.
one of the original designers of that was Andy Probert.
Yes.
And,
Do you know Andy?
Yeah, Andy's a very good friend.
Same
We
here.
worked at Imagineering together back in the early 90s. And he designed
One of the nicest men
the
I've
Star
ever
Trek.
met.
Yeah, the Next Generation Enterprise.
He did?
So he did that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that with that big bow wooden thing.
Yeah,
I like that.
So he did that.
It was
Super
very
nice guy.
Scandinavian. I was totally into it. I was like, oh, Danish.
Yeah, it's very,
Very.
Yeah, IKEA or what was it?
Well, no,
Plumbers.
there was
maybe
Eames in there too.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a lot,
Yeah.
But that's funny. Yeah.
I was hoping,
didn't
it'd
he
be
did
great
that.
to turn it into a couch or something with a little leather on there. Yeah.
Who was it before him? The first pass was Ron Cobb, I think. And
Yeah,
then
Ron did some
Andy
stuff.
Kind
Yeah.
of formed it into what we all know today as the time machine,
Yeah.
and then those guys built it.
Yeah, and it's neat. My heroes were guys like Ron. My main mentor was Sid Mead. So I knew Sid. I was sitting by Sid's side when he was doing Blade Runner.
Whoa.
And we didn't know what it was. It just seemed like a really cheesy sci-fi movie and stuff. But
With a lot of smoke.
yeah, and
More
stuff,
smoke.
but-
We need more smoke.
Yeah, but when I first met Sid in the early '80s, or probably '80, when they were doing Blade Runner, I didn't really know anything about the movies or about being a concept artist in movies or anything like that. And I probably learned more sitting beside him because I went down to his house.
Hang on, let's back it up again. So you worked on Blade Runner?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he did. He
Okay.
did. But I when I first found out about him, I was working at a bookstore in Ventura, and I found his Sentinel book. And I ended up getting fired from that job because I was always in the back looking at the book, right? And they finally said, look, we can't have you here. Take the book. It's our gift, but you got to go. So I got fired, but then I called up Sid. I found him in L.A. I called him up. I said, hey, can I come down and meet you? Because I don't know what the hell you do, but this is awesome, and I got to do this. And so I went down and visited, and then I ended up going down every Friday morning for about a year. And I sat next to him as he did Blade Runner, a lot of these things. And I learned more from him in that year than I did in all my years at Art Center and all that kind of stuff. Wow. But his vision, the way he looked at things, the way he developed concept, the way he developed languages, the way he developed theme, a lot of those things were truly unique. And I felt blessed to be able to absorb that.
Yeah.
And I get to apply that every day now to the coloring books and to a lot of things we do.
I hate that I always make shit about me, but everything you just said is what I was trying to say about the Conan and all of it earlier. Like,
Yeah.
you were a sponge at that time when
Yeah.
you needed to be to get all that stuff.
Yeah.
It made who you are today.
Yeah, I think so. And you know, as a kid, my parents gave me, you know, die-cast Hot Wheels and Dinkies and Corgis and art supplies. And that's all I ever wanted. And I got in trouble in school for constantly sketching. I wanted to go to detention because I could sit in the back and draw.
I did all of that shit. I did all of that shit. I can't believe you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Did they know you were creative and they then watered it, or did they help make you creative? Like, did
well,
that type of upbringing only
it was
possibly breed a creative person?
Yeah, it was a very creative household, and you know, parents that are writers, and my dad was originally an actor, so it was a very dramatic, emotional kind of upbringing. And there's a lot of
You were surfing a lot of that.
lot of
I
that
was
stuff.
too, without the
But-
yeah.
but-
A lot of drama.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's interesting because I think if you have young kids, and you're wondering what they're going to do when they get older, study them and look at their passions, look at the things that they love doing, because it really doesn't change. Because to this day, I still play with Hot Wheels and I still draw. I still did the same thing I was doing in high school.
Yeah.
It's fortunate that I can make money doing it, but things don't really change when you're infused with that kind of passion. You know, that's something that you're imprinted with, and you look for ways to expand that idea.
It's beautiful.
And a lot of people don't necessarily understand that we're all creative. You know, we're creative beings. We're meant to express ourselves, whether it's a cheeseburger or a salad or a business plan, whatever it is that you're into. But a lot of people don't necessarily feel, well, I don't know how to draw and stuff. Well, you didn't cultivate that, but everybody's creative in some way, and we're always doing that on a daily basis.
Right.
But it's important that we acknowledge that and we follow through with that stuff.
Sounds like both. They knew it and they watered it. Sounds like a very healthy place to grow up.
Yeah, I think so. I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I did have great parents, and we had 5 kids. And
You're one of 5.
Yeah,
That's a
I was
lot.
the youngest, yeah.
That's a lot. Well, how did they find the time? They're writing scripts. He was an actor.
He had 2 hands.
Oh,
He's
I
got 2
see.
hands.
Oh, fireball.
Yeah, but my mom didn't work until much later on. But you know, my mom was a powerhouse. She was I would use some really foul language right now, but I don't know how far I can
Oh,
take
yeah,
this.
whatever you want.
She was
Did you hear what happened
she was a
earlier?
badass motherfucker. My mom.
Whoa.
Shit, yeah, she was
Whoa.
hardcore. Yeah, and you know, when
Is
I
she no
got in
longer with
trouble,
us?
my dad's veins would pop out, and he would scream, and it didn't mean anything to me. It was my mom's quiet that freaked me out.
Oh, my God.
She would say, "Okay, this is what you did. Now this is what you're going to do," and I'm like, "Oh shit, man, I hate this."
She's got your number so
yeah,
bad.
it's like, yeah. And thank God it was
Anybody
that
who
way.
knows you that well.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
They're in your
I
head,
shouldn't have said that right now. Yeah. All my friends are going, oh, now I got his number. Yeah. Now I know how to deal with him.
Is your mom still with us or no?
No, she's been gone for
Oh, I'm sorry.
some time. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely miss her. But she was definitely the matriarch and the powerhouse. And I learned, I'm more like her, I think. And I really try to apply that and be present.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what the coloring books are about. You know, I mean, everybody wants to come
talk
up
about
with
that.
something that they can sell and they can bring to the world. And you know, when I settled on doing coloring books, it was the idea that up until then I was a gun for hire for the studios, and I would design and hand it off. And if I was lucky, I'd get a credit in the movie, which nobody gave a shit about because everyone leaves when the credits roll, unless it's a Marvel movie and you want to wait till the end. But nobody reads. I read my credit, right? You read your credit. But,
I was going to say, any production person reads the credits because they want to
Yeah.
see who they know
Yeah.
worked on the thing.
yeah, yeah. But you know, for the idea that
What's the deal with Marvel? Why do you wait till the end with Marvel?
because there's always post-scene credits. I mean, there's always post
Oh,
scenes.
it's a cut
Yeah,
take
so you got
or
to stay
whatever.
till the end for Black Widow with its upcoming.
Oh, right, because they promo the rest
Yeah,
of the
exactly,
I'm
right.
so
You gotta sit
not
there and-
that market.
And you got to be bored for like what credits
All
roll
right,
for
Marvel,
about 20 minutes now?
I was going to say the effects in a Marvel movie, that must be 12 minutes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's
for
like
sure.
it's like Pixar.
Right.
Wow.
But the idea of creating something artistically, expressing yourself artistically, that when a child or someone takes the book and they color it in, it ceases to become my art. It's now theirs. And they put it up on the wall and they say, "Hey, Dad, look, Mom, look what I did."
It's like a
Right?
collaborative effort.
It is, and it helps to do the same thing that my parents did to me, is that the kids get to express themselves and they get better, whether they stay in the lines or not. Who cares? But the thing I want to teach more than anything else is not to be afraid of color. Is that when people want to paint their house, there's like beige, gray, white. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
man, when you go to the Caribbean, they don't have numbers on the houses.
No, you go the orange one or
So
the pink one.
You go down here, take a left at the pink house, and take a right at the orange house.
Sure.
And it's just
Hawaii's the same way.
Oh, it's just amazing, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing, and color is very expressive. It's also emotional. It also, it's a reason that there's even though the room is not green. You guys have a green room.
Yeah.
It's not green, but psychologically, you're in the green room. You start to get calm. You're anticipatory of something good. The pink rooms in prisons kind of keep people calm.
There's pink rooms in
yeah.
prisons? I always heard this.
I don't want to get too much into why I know that. But,
but I always heard the same thing. With the classrooms in schools, like they're all taupe or mauve or whatever those kind of putty colors.
Yeah, those are specifically designed to piss kids off, which I think works pretty well. I mean,
get the testosterone raging.
Yeah. I don't know. But color is a science, and when I was in school, we had great assignments, and one of them was that we had to do 20 renderings, and you could use 3 markers for each rendering, but you had to close your eyes and pick 3.
Oh,
and then you couldn't use those colors again. So you had to go cycle through all of your colors. So eventually you literally obliterate your fear of being able to use color in a variety of ways to blend. How do you blend pink and black? How do you blend orange and taupe?
Just figure it out, you'll get there.
Right, chartreuse and purple, and you eventually you get over that stuff, and you begin to absorb and understand that color is something that really expands our emotional presence. Is that you really shift the course of someone's thinking. Like when I walk in here, I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome. Right?
The moment you walk in, you got it.
Oh yeah,
you
absolutely,
got it.
absolutely. And we try to do that at we have a museum up in Oxnard, the Murphy Auto Museum. We just finished doing our bathrooms. We created a Barbie bathroom and an Area 51 bathroom.
I saw you posted that the other day.
Yeah.
We got to come up and check that out.
Yeah,
that sounds
it's
amazing.
It's really fun. And now people are coming up to the museum and they want to pay $10 to get in. They actually just want to go to the bathroom and check those out. It's like, you should see the rest of the museum because there's a lot of cool stuff there. But
we saw Paul and we want to use your restroom.
Right, exactly.
Oh,
but it's just really fun, isn't it? I mean, it must have been a blast to create this space.
Yeah. The one thing you came in here and you were like, it takes a lot of forethought to be able to. The only thing is, this was never the plan. Mm-hmm. It grew to this over 3 years. I told you we threw spaghetti at a wall for a long time figuring out different things. I guess, there was always rainbow colored books and it was always sort of a warm light in the pocket here and cool light around us. Mm-hmm. But we found this over time. This evolved into whatever it is now, and it's like this cool, hip, I don't know about you, but it's really easy for most people to have a conversation in this room, mm-hmm. and they share very easily, and it's like a safe space. Maybe it's a safe space.
True.
That happened over time. It got seasoned.
The interesting thing is, when you study design for a long time, and I would say a lot of this specific point to a lot of the guys out there that have cars and they want to buy a BMW or Porsche and they want to deck it out the way they want to do that, is that design is developed in 3 stages. Currently, we're doing a book with Frank Stevenson, so it's really great to be able to talk to someone who is an amazing designer. McLaren 675, 720, Ferrari FXX, a lot of great stuff, and he would corroborate what I'm saying is that when you're designing a vehicle or designing a house, there's 3 levels to it. There's the master level, which essentially is the type of car it is, maybe the base color that it is. You see it go by on the freeway, you go, oh, that was cool, check that out, right? And then a second level is when you get a chance to step up to it and take a picture of it. And, it's got some graphics on it, it's got this and that. But rarely do people go to the third level. And the third level is what I consider to be the spice. It's something that is like the pinstriping. It's something that's the subtle stuff that you have to get really close to experience, right?
Oh, yeah, all the details.
Right. And Disney, Imagineering was a master of this kind of thing.
Yeah, set dressing and Imagineering, they called it layers.
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
Layering.
So when you walk down Main
That's
Street...
exactly what I was going to say before. Yeah. All these layers took time.
Absolutely. You got the Starfield and all this kind of stuff that was... You could have stopped. You didn't have to go to that stage, right? But it's really great. It's great that you did. Because now it adds that layer that wasn't there before.
100%.
Right? Yeah.
Coulda, shoulda.
Yeah. It just kept going and going. But,
COVID, I let loose. I was like, well, we can't make the room any bigger, so let's just blow out some walls.
But if you spend time, one thing that people don't do is Disneyland is they don't look up and they don't look down.
Oh, I love all the forced perspectives
at
Disneyland.
So
I
you
look
see
at
all the
that.
second floor windows are all half size.
Yeah.
There's all this great stuff everywhere.
If you pay attention, that castle's itty bitty.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
it looks huge from afar.
Right, and if you are looking down, you're looking at your kid barfing on the sidewalk or something from all the ice cream. That's
Oh,
about
there
as far
goes
as
the
it
corn
goes.
dog.
Yeah. So, but if you're gonna create a car, the great thing with Magnus also is that he takes that to the third level. He understands from the fashion world is that there has to be that tertiary level that you get to, and he
You have to be
expresses
willing
that.
to alienate a
Yeah.
few people in order to get the rest.
Right, and his new shoes are like that, to where they're kind of distressed right out of the box, and
Oh,
that
yeah,
kind
they
of thing.
are.
So it's pretty cool.
Did you get a pair?
Not yet.
I know, me too.
I'm going to go down there and force him to give me a pair. So
Everyone says that like he's got a warehouse of them. I mean, it's not like they dropped a truckload off like Hot Wheels does.
probably did. Probably
No,
did.
they didn't.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
have you ever done anything with Nike? Especially
No.
on a limited
No.
shoe? I
No.
have. We
Yeah.
did the Back to the Future shoe.
Okay.
That was the time frame we were doing.
Yeah.
Holy crap. He was on the show the other day. We told him, this comic book is a big deal and all, but
Coloring.
Nike, excuse me, the coloring book.
yeah.
God damn it, I'm sorry. This coloring book is a big deal. That stepped on my joke anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Nike's going to blow up anyway.
Yeah.
There was things I wanted to know about you. I could talk to you for days. That's not a problem, clearly, but there were things I wanted to know. You remember Danny Bodkin. You know him, right? 'Cause he was the one who told me about you, I think.
Danny Bodkin?
You don't know him, the DeLorean guy down at DeLorean? Oh,
No,
okay. All right.
no.
Shit.
I might
But you knew
online.
Charger Steve, Nate Truman, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Nate's a good friend.
The coloring books, you told us how you started getting into them, but you have a lot of them available now. So what's going on? You're doing collaborations with people? Is that how it works?
Kind of. So, we have 44 books at
That's
this point.
amazing.
Yeah. And I didn't necessarily intend.
Hang on. How many pages are there? I
They're,
mean, that's-
they're all 20 pages. They all include a maze on page 11. There's a certain format to them, and we can modify them somewhat. But the impetus was that when I initially had the idea, I was sitting with my wife, and she said, you should do a coloring book. I started exploring, and the common thread that I got back from people was that, oh, yeah, coloring books are out. Nobody likes them. They suck. And I went like, oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you
that's
want
great.
that. That means
Right?
nobody's doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And I realized that nobody's doing a really cool coloring book, obviously, but no one's really targeting, a hyper niching coloring books, which we can do. So I ended up doing Mustangs and Corvettes and thinking about the audience, and we have kind of 3 rules that we work by. You have to love the idea of doing this specific coloring book. We have to be able to have identify an audience, and we have to have access to that audience. And the third one is always the most difficult. Is that you can identify an audience. Like for you guys, like there's people out there that enjoy listening to the show and things like that. But being able to actually get to them, you can't onesie twosie your way through Facebook,
Right.
and try to aggregate that. It's
No,
not
you're
possible, right? So that when I think it
Actually
was,
reaching your audience that's already even there. Yeah.
right. So about 2 years ago, I got together with Tony Dow, and I said, "Hey,
Wally.
yeah, Wally." And
You
I
really
said,
are good friends.
It's a blast. He's got an amazing spread. It looks like some kind of Middle Earth house up in Topanga. That's just
that sounds
super
beautiful.
cool.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
love it.
cool. Yeah. So I said, here's an opportunity to not only illustrate some of the points in your life that you can recall, but actually to create what we call an autobiographical coloring book. So to be able to tell the story
Holy cow.
of some of those things, and people get to learn about him. And so we spent probably a month or 2 trying to put all that together, and literally right out of the gate, he's got a Facebook page that's got, I don't know, a lot of people. And we just said, hey, what do you guys think about doing a coloring book with Tony? And they were like, these guys are champions for Wally, and they've been champions for like the last 60, 70 years since Wally was a kid.
I can't believe it's been that long.
Oh,
That's
it's just
amazing. But yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
His fans are, as hardcore as locked in as you can get.
That show was
because,
the 50s, wasn't it?
yeah, it's the only show on TV that's never been off the air. It's always
Seriously?
been on. It's
Lucy?
always been on.
Honeymooners?
No, it's been off the air.
No kidding.
Yep. Leave It to Beaver is the only show.
All those old wholesome values, right?
I think so. It just represented certain things, and there's a lot of people that have dogs named Wally, and they nicknamed their older brothers Wally.
Spike,
and a lot of,
Spike Feresten, his
Yeah,
brother's named Wally. And
exactly.
He was on the show the other day. He said
Exactly.
pretty much probably because of that. It was influential.
Right. And Tony's an amazing artist. He's a sculptor. Most people don't know that. We'll actually have some of his pieces. I have a gallery that's in our museum. August 2nd, we have a new launch. So 2nd or 7th, I forget what the date is.
Very cool.
So we'll have you guys up there.
Please.
Do I need to?
Don't start.
Yeah,
you son of a
I'm
gun.
I'm gonna. No. I'll reach out to you with a very dramatic email.
Listen, once I told you the
Yeah.
other part, didn't it sound like, oh, I was set up to?
Yeah.
It was a set. It was like a.
bait.
so that we
It's-
could do this. It's
it's
like,
the-
all right,
They're
fine.
circling the edge.
I
and
used to
constantly
do that
throwing
shit
the
too when
crap
I was
in.
a kid. When we had the time machine, we had a message board and all that shit. Once I saw that you cannot control the masses,
Yeah.
it was like, I'm out. Forget it. Keep it. Back to you. Do we finish the coloring books? Because I think these are amazing. Can we hold some up here?
I don't know where do I hold them?
Anywhere you want, and I'll get it.
So that's Magnus's book.
When
I can't believe how many Porsches I've drawn at this
Yeah.
point.
When I was a kid, I didn't tell you this, but when I was a kid, I had one coloring book that I can recall anyway. And I was a child of the 80s, grew up in 77. Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh yeah.
It was thick, and it was like phone book paper, vellum paper, because
Yeah.
it was there were so many pictures in this damn thing, and it was like the type of thing that for years I didn't finish it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'd go on vacation, and then let the cousins do it too, and then generally it's green and purple and all over the place, and I'm like, oh my god, my little autistic brain was breaking. When I saw this, it brought back so many memories.
That's great.
Man, so many memories, and I just think it's a fantastic idea at the right time. I think that whoever you asked first clearly inspired you to keep doing it, so that they didn't
Yeah.
shut you down.
Yeah.
But I think this is the right thing right now for all of the reasons you said. Also,
I appreciate that.
people are being able to. You can create your own artwork.
Yeah,
Like
right.
if you were an adult and wanted to do this with colored pencils or with watercolor or something like that, you could do that and hang it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't need to be on
is
your
doing-
fridge. You could
he's
put
doing
a frame on it.
Yeah, yeah, he's doing a coloring contest right now. So if it for the hashtag Magnus coloring book, if you do a colored piece, just hashtag that, and then you can win a bunch of stuff from him. He's giving away Hot Wheels, all kinds of things.
It's amazing, and the way you did things, you took existing places and sort of changed them, you know, a bit. You know, because here's the bridges, but look, like the aliens are landing and all this.
Well,
it's crazy
the
stuff. you know?
idea was that I'm involved with a company in the UK that creates a collector's journal called Diecast Heroes. So it's for people that love customizing Hot Wheels.
Oh, wow!
And we
There's
have
a whole market for that.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
knew?
But we have a new issue that comes out on the 28th, and cyberpunk is a big stylized design language, but it's not a future you would really want to live in. You'd want to visit and be kind of cool.
See a
but-
movie.
but you wouldn't want all the knives flying at you and people trying to chop you up and shoot you and all that stuff. So there are many different punk languages. There's steampunk, there's diesel punk, and the one that I gravitate towards the most is solar punk. And solar punk.
Shit, you are blowing my mind. I know steampunk very well.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what was the first. What was the other one you said?
Solo.
No, but before
diesel
I
punk.
don't know diesel punk,
Yeah.
and I definitely don't know solar punk.
Yeah.
I could probably figure out solar punk. It's the same as steampunk, but future probably. I'm guessing.
Right, it's the exact opposite of cyberpunk. Okay, so cyberpunk is a negative future. Solar punk is the absolute perfect positive future.
Oh, like
Right.
a utopian type of society.
In a way
whatever.
where we understand that that the planet is fallible, is that we're not going to destroy it, and we try to work within the boundaries of the resources that we have. We treat each other with respect instead of screwing things up, and I could never understand a lot of the mentalities that exist today. But when you screw up a lot in life, you learn a lot through the way. And so
Amen, brother.
when I talked to Magnus and I said, hey, it'd be really cool to show your cars as if they were classics in 100 years in a solar punk
shit.
future, and that's what the backgrounds are. So if you look at if you see all of his photographs that he gave me, he supplied me with 20 photographs, and I changed the backgrounds as if we took another shot from that specific area, but 100 years from now.
I think that's amazing.
And it was rebuilt with
You're
a solar
very
punk
high
future.
concept. Fireball.
I think it worked out pretty good, and in Blade Runner was one of his favorite films. And I always imagine, what if we turned on all the lights in Blade Runner? What would that look like?
Yeah.
It
Kill
would-
the smoke.
It would be messy.
We'd
Yeah.
see everything.
Yeah, we would, and to infuse plant life and a lot of things, and I just want the best possible future for people,
amen.
and to inspire that hopefully. So that book does that. A lot of these other things, Superfly this is the other book, and this is actually the same guys that do Diecast Heroes, the magazine.
Oh,
So
wow.
this was pretty fun. These are all real cars that have been built.
They look like Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah, they look like Hot
cars,
Wheels,
yeah,
but
okay.
they're all real cars that people have built that are all custom.
Wow.
And they exist around the world, and we had people
pie
submit their cars, and then they won a spot in the coloring book, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
That-
And then
super
Porsches,
neat.
which that's for you also.
What is this here?
That's the Porsche book.
Well, who did you do? You did this with Porsche or
I
just
did
on
not
your
do
own?
with Porsche. So,
But I mean, it's not Spike or anything. This is just you.
yeah, that was
Oh,
just
great.
me. That was the first one that we did, and then Spike saw that and he said, "Hey, we should do a coloring book," and then he included all of his favorite cars as opposed to just Porsches, and he also included a Schwinn bicycle in there, which was really fun to draw. That was a blast.
This is amazing.
And then Magnus kind of was off the cuff of what we did with Spike, and it just kind of
Good for you,
keeps
man.
going,
I
so-
hope it continues. I think it's great. I hope these are selling. People are receiving these well. Right?
Magnus's book is blowing up
Good.
beyond anything I had hoped for.
Good.
So it's
Fantastic.
quite extraordinary.
His
And-
following is
Yeah.
outrageous, and it's global. He's
Yeah.
all over the joint.
Yeah. The goal is
The mazes are fun, by the way. I like Magnus's maze of downtown LA, basically of all the or whatever.
the
Streets.
goal. What
Streets
I
on
want
River.
if you get a maze, Xerox it out of the book, give it to 2 or 3 people, and then go through a race and see who gets through the maze fastest.
Smart.
And then let me know how quickly you made it through.
People follow you on Instagram is probably the best way.
We
Or
have Instagram,
Facebook?
yeah, Facebook. We have three pages on Facebook, so it's a little bit of a. We have a fan page on Facebook.
Well, let's list them all. How do people? I mean, we don't have to wrap it up this second,
So
but I mean, like
Instagram is at Fireball Tim. Simple.
I got that on your Chiron there. There
Yeah.
you go.
Facebook is my full name, Fireball Tim Lawrence. That's the fan page because personal pages are limited.
Oh, Tim Lawrence. I don't think I ever knew that was your last name.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Sorry.
Who is this guy that's coming on the show?
It didn't even occur to me. No, that's the thing.
I'm only here because
felt-
I had a weird name. That's it.
Because I've been aware of you. Most of our guests, sometimes people come in here and I'm like, I did look them up today because
Yeah.
somebody else booked them or whatever. But because I had that awareness of you for 20 years now, over whatever it's been, 15 years, I don't know. I guess maybe I just didn't do the research. I was like, well, I already kind of know some stuff that I want to know about this guy, and the rest we'll just figure out. Could you tell that my head was preoccupied with other stuff?
Well, I'm still just doing the same thing I was doing as a kid. Is that I didn't want to draw regular cars. I wanted to draw cars that had rocket launchers on them and something you find in a movie. And to this day, I do movie cars. I've done 400 films as designing cars for film. Yep.
Yeah, when Matt Fair was on the other day, he said something was his favorite movie. I can't remember what it was, but then you
Oh, yeah.
sent me a message saying, hey, I watched your live. I storyboarded that movie.
The Great White Hope.
That's right, The Great White Hype.
Great
Yes,
White Hype.
exactly
Yes.
right. That's
yeah, I
what it was.
storyboarded that. Yeah, that was hysterical. I'm like, he actually liked that movie?
I
I think
sent-
he's the only guy that liked that movie.
I sent him a message afterwards, like, oh, you're not going to believe this? And he was like, ah!
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so then you leave the film industry more or less. After a while it's very repetitive and COVID kills a lot of things. But doing the books is something that I don't. It's no longer a hired gun. It's really great. And then we do a lot of the car shows. We have a Cars and Coffee that happens up at our museum every first and third Sundays.
Let's talk about it. First and third Sunday, so two a month.
2 months.
And then, do you do the Malibu Cars and Coffee? Did
Oh,
you?
and here's the
Because
bomb.
I remember Wheels and Waves.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was you.
yeah.
I know that was you because Tony Dowd
Now,
was there
I-
one
I-
week, and
I
Mike
did
from The
explain
Thing was
this
there 1 week.
on Spike's podcast.
Uh-oh,
So I can explain it here
All
again
right.
if you want. Okay.
Different audience, and
Yeah.
I didn't hear it because I don't listen to Spikes.
And I can see how it makes sense because it didn't take much for people to hear a very small thing and then let her rip. And I got hammered for probably a month and a half from a variety of different podcasts as being the bad guy. So
I don't think that Malibu is you, but there was a Malibu Cars and Coffee way back when, but that
Right.
wasn't you.
it was.
Oh, it was you. Okay.
Right. So the original
Oh, so
Malibu
that's
Cars and
why
Coffee
everyone-
was done with the city, and I had a partner with that who shall remain nameless.
But you had the kids helping, and they were helping
Yeah.
with the cars and the,
Yeah, and
and
it
the
was-
sundries and everything. It was lovely.
Yeah, it was run by the city, but eventually I could not work with that particular gentleman. Plus, the show was limited to about 60 to 70 spaces.
Tops,
It wasn't
yeah.
that big. So I decided
That happens.
to start Wheels and Waves, which we took it down to Gladstone's. We did it there for a short period of time, but Gladstone's didn't understand that bringing out enough coffee for 12 people is not enough for 600 people that show up.
We'll provide the coffee, but one little urn is not.
Yeah, it
gonna do
didn't
Yeah,
work
right,
out.
right.
So eventually we moved to where the Malibu Car Show. I'm not supposed to say that.
No,
The-
it's not
the
it's not a car
unnamed
show. Right.
whatever that
Super
is.
secret.
Yeah, super secret get together thing. It was there. Then it moved across the street,
That's what I remember.
and
my
I did that
coffee
for
bean.
years. Right. So when COVID hit, the show shut down. That was it. It was game over until whatever.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 months later, the get-together happened across the street in front of Malibu Kitchen, and just was self-generated and just kind of happening, and which I thought was great because now at least I got something to do. I could go to a show and I can drive 2 miles and I'm there, and I don't have
that's
to.
how we all felt.
Yeah, it was like really.
And that's
cool.
what happened.
Yeah. So I'll circle to eventually to the main issue at hand, right? So I was reached out by the Malibu Country Mart because I had worked with them across the street, and they said, "Hey, look, that show is bonkers, and we got to shut it down." And I'm like, "Well, good luck with that because what are you going to do? Send some guy out there and scream at people? Because that's not going to work. I can't see how you're going to do that." And they said, "Well, will you help us?" And I said, "Well, help you do what?" He goes, "Well, we'll send out some security. If you can just let people know that we're going to be shutting the show down, then that would be helpful." I'm like, "Well, okay." I mean, I guess I was stupid because I didn't really think too much about it. I thought as people roll in, I could let them know that they're not going to do it anymore. Well, again, someone came in, I shall not name them, and I said, "Yeah, they're shutting the show down." And that person perceived that as, "You're not welcome here anymore. We're shutting the show down. Go home." However they perceived it.
Yeah, it sounds like all car show drama is the same. It's all just a miscommunication. It's just a misunderstanding.
So about a week later, I'm getting hammered to where I went to a show in San Diego and I almost got into a fist fight with a young kid that said a few things.
Matt and I were on his podcast talking about it. He was like, and then Fireball comes in, and I was like, I know, what's up with that? And we were helping perpetuate this thing because we were wrong. It was not what it looked like.
Well, the thing that irked me the most was they sent one security guy in, and he was about 20 years old, Latino guy, and
the same poor kid that's there every time.
He was getting everything from racist comments to the guy was crying.
Oh my God!
Because he was overwhelmed, and I said, "Okay, let's just let people do what they do."
It's not his job. He's just a parking lot attendant.
Right. So they didn't understand it. If I were to shut my own show down, there's a certain protocol, a certain way I would go about it, and you have to be delicate about the way you do it. But
There's politics involved, whether you want there to be or not. There are.
But I see both sides. The difficulty really isn't about the show. The show itself it's problematic in that it's dense and there's some of the stores that are there might complain. I don't get that because if I had a store at Malibu Village and all these people were there, you better believe I'd be opening the doors and saying, "Hey, 10% off, come on over."
That's what I was all day long. Why didn't you get your employees in there and open up?
Right. So, but the main problem, which doesn't make sense from the city, if you look at it from the city's perspective, and people are calling the city a bunch of fascists and a lot of name calling, this kind of stuff, and I get it.
See both sides.
But the problem we want to go to a car show and have a good time, and we essentially go to this show. We park, we walk around, we have some fun, we buy some coffee, and we don't cause any harm or anything like that. Some people...
We don't. You and I don't.
Right.
But some people do a little bit.
Yeah, and it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
For one person to go in with a particular type of car, which shall remain nameless, and show a couple of throw a couple of pops and things, and kind of ruin it for everyone. It doesn't take much to do that. And that's what they zero in on.
Yeah.
It's like, you car guys are a bunch of a-holes. This is what you do. And
Everybody gets painted
we
with
got
the same
yelled
brush.
at to the cops. I got a cease and desist from the city.
Oh my God.
I'm like, dude, it's not my show. I'm like, why am I getting this? Right. So I had to call them and say, "Look, it's not my show." And they said, "Okay, well, will you help us?" I'm like, "Yeah, I tried that last time. That didn't work out too well."
Oh God.
Right. So then the cop sends an email to the mayor of Malibu, who's a good friend of mine, and CCs the entire city council, and blames me for the show and lets me have it right in front of all them. Then he calls Spike, then he calls Matt, lets him have it.
Oh, this is just the most recent drama. Yeah,
right,
so we're almost current now.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. So I was getting blamed for trying to shut the show down, and then the city's blaming for me for having the show, and I'm like, dude, I just come and take pictures. I don't do anything.
The only safe bet these days is just staying home. You can't talk to anybody. You upset everybody.
Well, but this is the main crux of what's going on. So in Malibu, on almost every average weekend, there's at least one fatality and at least 3 major accidents.
Is that true? Just driving the canyons
Absolutely,
and all that stuff?
right.
Wow.
And I've been on the unfortunate position. I live down by Duke's, where I've had to hold the hand of several people that died in my arms because they hit one of the buildings there. And I've been there
At the end of Las Flores, that area.
yeah,
there?
I've been there for 25 years, and I've seen horrible things, and not something I would wish on anyone.
Sure.
But the truth of the matter is that none of those cars were the type of cars that we drive. Those were all average people going through and doing their things. But it's very clear that some of those people that come to Malibu and they come to the show, most of us are respectful. We understand the law, and we don't necessarily want to, we want to have a good time, but we don't want to go to jail at the same time. But there's some people that drive like absolute lunacy. Mm-hmm. And the city can't make a distinction between us enjoying ourselves,
right,
and the insanity that
100%.
Goes on, right? They see it as one.
100%.
Right? So it's problematic in that all these people, just the other night, just last weekend, I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night, and about 150 cars came through Malibu, going in easily 100. Going north.
It's the
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the email on that one.
Right. And I was up for 2 hours. I couldn't go to sleep because and I understand these guys. I mean, I was there. I was in my 20s. I would have done the same thing.
That's what. Yeah.
Right. But now I'm in my 50s, and I just want to go to bed.
I'm old now.
Right.
That's right. We're a bunch of old farts.
Yeah. And I get it. I understand that they want to enjoy themselves, and I want them to enjoy themselves, but the reality is, and I probably, it's just karma, because I had a 500 horsepower Mini Cooper, and I would go to the airport and pop and grind, and the cop would pull me over. I'm like, what are you pulling me over for?
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing. It's like, have you listened to your car? Have you just heard the sound of your car? So I understand that. It's frustrating, right? But when you live in town and you see the things that I've seen, and the city has experienced a level of insane driving the way they have.
The influx has been nuts.
It's been it's tough for them to try to find a way to be able to cope with it. And then you have COVID, and then you have people wearing masks, not wearing masks. It's no one knows what the hell to do.
There's too much to police.
Right.
Yeah.
So the cops come in, and the cops don't really do anything. They just come in and make sure that people don't get run over. They're all car guys.
I was going to say that from my experience, they've all been amazing. Most of them are people we already know.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not there to rain on anyone's parade.
Just short of literally shutting down the parking lot permanently and not allowing anyone to go in there, I can't see any way for them to solve the problem.
They had the tanks there one day. That was crazy. The big SWAT tanks and everything.
Yeah.
Crazy pants.
Yeah, those were really cool to look at, though,
I
right?
know, I
you
thought
could
the same
just park and like, oh, check out that cool car.
But it scared us away, and then we're like, well, let's just get the hell out of here. And then we go, whatever, and we went up near Trancas, and that was all barricaded off, and then we're like, shit. And then we kept going, and then Mulholland Drive, like the end of Mulholland, highway, that was shut off, and we were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
We ended up parking on the beach in front of a fisherman's net.
Yeah.
Neptune's net.
Yeah. So it's frustrating because you have an individual who wants to go to Malibu and wants to have a good time. And Malibu needs that. We're a tourist town, and we want people to enjoy themselves, go to a restaurant and things like that. So you have this need and this desire to get out and to express yourself and to share and to do the things that we enjoy with cars.
Very much.
But there is two kinds of shows, as I see it. There is what I call a money show, and there's an art show. Mm. And the money show is a lot of the high-end exotics. It's the one thing I'm driving at the moment.
Yeah.
But
you the new vet? Is that what you
Yeah. So it's you want to come out, you want to talk to people, have a good time, but these are people that are collectors, and they're and it's a lot of high-end stuff. And then the art show is like hot rods, rat rods, slam trucks, and the stuff that if someone bought a truck for $1,500 and they dumped $60,000 into it and they created this thing. They're not going to drive like an idiot on the highway because they're driving a piece of art.
100%.
And half the time it's going to break down. You're going to see them on the side of the road.
100%.
Right? So Wheels and Waves was that kind of show.
Agreed.
So we were there for a long time.
You guys had your customs were killer. The old stuff and the American stuff and all of the custom rods and everything. Oh my God!
But I don't really care what anyone's driving. My favorite car is the one with four wheels. If you guys love what you drive, then you should get out and do that. But you understand that society is structured in a way to try and keep people safe. It's not perfect. It's just not. We want to be able to get out there and have fun, and drive, as Magnus calls it, drive spiritedly.
Spiritedly, yeah.
Right?
Well, we call when we're talking about the crest, we call it respect the crest. I mean, you are allowed to have fun.
Yeah.
But the truth is, up on that road, you could be doing 5 miles an hour over and be having all the fun you need to have. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm not telling people how to drive, but. But honestly, you said it earlier about being present. It really comes down to that. If you can stay present while you're driving, keep breathing, man. Don't get hypoxia up there and everything. Just keep breathing through it.
When you
Make
get
good decisions.
older, you understand consequences more.
Make good decisions. Make good decisions.
Yeah, and I have a show on Facebook, a Facebook live show called Art Talk Live. And we do that at 8 a.m. every single morning during the week, right? And
you're freaking fascinating, bro.
I got to keep going. Foot's on the
ahead,
gas all the time.
Go ahead.
But the point is to try to help people be expressive creatively. But I think as you get older, you understand consequences because you just fucked up so many times that you're like, I stopped driving like an idiot because I just got so many freaking tickets that I started getting broke.
Yep.
And worse than that, the time that was taken from me having to sit in court and having to explain myself. I was like, I didn't want to do that anymore. So just like lay off a little bit, right? You can still have a good time, but unfortunately, no one thinks it's going to happen to them. No one thinks that if they push it a little too far on the crest, that you don't just lose control. You can go over the side and die. Yeah. But worse than that is causing someone else harm. And recently, I have a friend that was a motorcycle rider, hardcore, and he has a new girlfriend, a great relationship, and they were coming out of a parking garage, and they got sideswiped by a 17-year-old girl in a truck, and she got hurt bad, and she's in surgery right now.
I'm sorry.
And he got a different perspective because all of when he normally lays down his bike or crashes, he's like, oh, I fucked up my bike. Look at that. Oh, this is terrible. This is going to cost me forever. This time he sat there over her, holding her hand, not sure if she was going to live or not.
Yep.
And
different perspective.
That completely shifts your game. You look at life differently. And I don't wish that experience on anyone who's watching right now. If you're 20 years old and you want to drive and enjoy yourself, I respect that. And I want you to experience that. But I don't want you to experience the things that I have unfortunately experienced.
Sure.
And I see on a constant weekly basis. I don't want to go down and call 911 and go down and see you on the highway. Because none of these people that are on the highway that have been killed or been hurt ever thought it was going to happen to them.
Right. That's right. Never.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people may be watching or scratching their heads like, yeah, whatever, Fireball's a kook, and I understand.
Well, if we're both in agreement on this, there must be something to it.
Yeah, I just I want people to
you kook. You are a kook.
Yeah,
but not because of this.
Yeah. But there's a place, there's a way to do it that's safe but still fun.
Yes.
Have a great time. I mean, Matt and I we shot a show out at Willow, and we had a spectacular time. I think anyone who buys a 500 horsepower car should be obligated to go to Willow Springs and learn how to drive it because it's very different.
Before they're allowed to buy it,
yeah.
You say. It should be part like getting a license.
Yeah, and it would be really fun. It would be spectacular.
Make it a no-cost mandatory option.
Because I mean, I'm a good driver. I consider myself a good driver, but every time I go to Willow, I drive with an expert. And
and then you get schooled, right?
Dude, oh yeah.
I don't know,
You think you're good? It's like, oh man. It's like when you're on that straightaway and you hit that first cone, all I want to do is yank that steering wheel and he's going like, hold it. And when he finally lets go, I'm like, you rubber band out the other side and you go like, that's what this shit is about, right?
Are you talking about the end of this first
Yeah,
grade
the end of the first.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, there's nothing but hill and the whatever they call the sandwich shop at the top up there, the upper deck or whatever.
Yeah,
that place
and the
is
same
called.
thing. There's that same feeling that there's a curve at Buttonwillow that you get the same experience. And when you get that, it's like I'm a surfer also. When you catch a wave that's like just pushing you up beyond your comfort zone, and your adrenaline kicks in, and you chase that.
Yeah.
You'll go travel around the world trying to find that.
Yes.
And there's the same experience you have driving. You can have that, and we chase that thing. But the place for that is not Pacific Coast Highway, where there's people pushing their strollers, and it's the only freeway in the world where there's people walking their dogs along the side of the freeway and crossing it, and there's a lot of stuff.
Backing out of their driveways onto it.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, no, all of that stuff. I mean, respect. Yeah, all of that. I don't know how to say it. Drive safely, drive carefully. What did petrolists used to
drive
be?
consciously.
Drive tastefully.
If being that's for me. probably the key component is that people are unconscious when they do a lot of things.
Not present.
Not present. Is that their thoughts betray them, their words betray them by using insults and digs and a lot of things.
It's all programming. Your
Yeah.
autopilot's all your
Right.
programming.
And your actions end up being a result of that thinking process. But when you strive to be aware, then you understand that if I give this compliment, that what's going to come back to me is a compliment. If I give kindness, I receive kindness.
That's it.
If I give anger and rage, I receive anger and rage. And you watch those videos where people roll down their windows and they yell at the cop right out of the gate, and it's like,
when they're getting pulled over.
yeah, I'm like, just be cool and
You might have a nice day.
Yeah.
You might make a new friend.
yeah, right. It's tough.
I think you're great, but we didn't scratch the surface. We were well out of time. I mean, I killed a lot of it, but we've been talking for over an hour. Would you come back sometime? Like anytime?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Of
I know it's a
course.
long drive for you, but like we'll work it into some other time when you're doing all of your East Side stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, my pleasure.
I think that you're delightful. I'm glad that we
Thank
finally
you.
got to meet. I don't feel like we just met because I always say hi to you from afar, but we never really did do this till today. So
I still haven't been to
thanks
Newcomb's
for your
Ranch, so
time.
I have to do that.
Ever?
No, never.
Well, it's
been
for
there.
sale now. It's really not the same experience.
Oh, I'll talk to Magnus. Maybe he'll buy it.
That would be great. We might need a few people involved, but let's all do it.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. I've got a couple commercials to do, so you can sit tight or leave. It's up to you. But we got to pay the bills around here. Let's see, Mrs. Ryan. How you doing? Oh, and then in the meantime, I'll throw up Instagram to see who is here. Anybody still here? We did a lot of talking there. What's going on?
Crickets.
Yeah, no, they're there. I don't know who the people are having. Oh, Surf Mushroom Mongo. Surf. Is that anybody you know, Mr. Surfer?
Fuck your dad.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's up with
I think
that?
that's between them. It looks like, but I
Yeah.
can't get to it over there. So maybe we'll just get that out of here.
Yeah.
They say all that separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. St. Clair Insurance has coverage for your toys. Currently, a lot of car values are all over the place, so you're probably going to want to get your car valuated. I always want to say evaluated, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, and then go check out your insurance. You're going to want to go to coverage for your toys, coverageforyourtoys.com. That's your choice. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. I don't know what happened. It's like the batteries didn't run out. They got corroded, like the acid's leaking. You know, in AI when the robot eats the food and his eye starts falling off and everything. Coverageforyourtoys.com. Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Coveredforyourtoys.com.
Need a lift lately? Cruise into a healthy second half of 2021 with Cruise into Wellness CBD. The cruise is with a Z. Use promo code LATE NIGHT for 20% off your order at Cruise into Wellness. You, sir, will get a $50 gift certificate to Cruise into Wellness if you partake in any CBD products or would like some for your family. Go to cruiseintowellness.com, cruiseintowellness.com.
Cruiseinowellness.com.
For everybody else, late night for 20% off your order. You will get a different promo code. And my absolute favorite, hi, this is Jay Ryan from Late Night Playset, reminding you to please like, subscribe, and comment below. This feeds the internet algorithm and eventually us as well. Be a pal. Like, subscribe, and comment below. It'll be fire! It'll be fire! We did it. We did it.
Blade Runner smoke.
Yeah, that's right. We got the Blade Runner smoke going here.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate.
Thanks for being
Appreciate
here,
your time.
Thanks so much
Fireball.
for coming.
Thanks for being here.
Sure.
And for being so open and sharing.
Absolutely.
Really, really appreciate that. It's you've got all of the Hollywood history, but then you also had like the heart and soul to back it up in the chair.
I've just fucked up more than most people, I think. So.
You can trade stories,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. Those are good things.
I'm trying to think if there's anything we didn't get to. No, the Batman thing, man, that was interesting. You designed the Keaton Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
That is really something. I mean, we all grew up with it. We
Yeah.
all had models or a Matchbox or something.
The best one is when I'll go to SEMA. We'll do a signing and people go by. I can't believe you did Starsky and Hutch. I'm like, dude, I was
You did
11.
Starsky? No, you
I was
couldn't have
11
done-
years old when
Did
that
you do
came
the
out.
movie?
No,
But even then, it's just a Torino.
It's
yeah.
a red tomato with a white stripe, right?
Yeah.
And that and Dukes of Hazzard. I'm like,
Just
it's
decals,
a
yeah.
flag on top. Of,
Yeah.
now it's a racist flag on top
Yeah, I
of
was
the
gonna say,
car.
don't
I'm
even,
like,
don't even mention the
I
flag.
didn't do that.
And a highway trooper push bar thing
Yeah,
on
I
the
don't
front,
know.
right?
Yeah. But,
All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah.
Follow Fireball Tim at all the places he mentioned before. But let's see, Fireball Tim on the Instagram.
fireballtim.com is our main website. That's where you can see all the updates for the books and things like that.
Can they get to the museum there too, or is that a different one?
They can get to the museum show, basically. It's called Muscles and Mojo. and the website for the museum is the murphyautomuseum.org.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So
And we're going to come up for the event in August.
Yeah. We have the Fireball Gallery up there. We have 10 new artists, including Tony Dow, and
Cool.
a lot of incredible painters and stuff you guys will absolutely love. So we had the last event we had 250 people that we invited, and over 700 people showed up. It was
Wow.
enormous.
That's
so
huge.
we expect to have a good turnout this time.
Oh, good Lord. Well, we need special accommodations.
You got it. You got it. I'll make sure that you guys get the website that you can consult to find out all the information that I have nothing to do with.
I'm going to straight up say again that I love everybody, including person X. I don't know what's up, but if you want to put it together, know that I'm open and very willing.
Oh, and this, I definitely won't be at the California Speedway event either. Just wanted to let you guys know that, in case you were wondering. And no one I know is actually going, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. But I'm
With that, we are out of time. Next week, we are back with, Basim's here. Oh, that's going to be great. We're going to be talking cars with Basim. And then this is a big deal on Thursday. She is an exclusive to only us, not doing anything else. Catherine DeLorean will be here, daughter of John DeLorean and one of my sister. I don't have a real sister. This is the closest thing I have to family in the world. She's going to be here, and
Ask
we're
her
going to
about
talk
the
about
four-door.
all the stuff.
Ask her about the four-door.
The four-door?
Yeah.
Did you design that?
No, but I saw it. I went to their factory.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh, how wild.
Yeah.
In Belfast.
No, this was in Houston when they moved everything to Houston.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Wynn. Do you know Steve Wynn?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That's awesome.
Good stuff.
All right, so that's it. We're back next week with Basim and Kat. We love everybody. I love you. Fireball, we love you.
I love you guys.
We all love everybody at home and on Instagram. And have a great weekend. We'll see you out there. Oh, Good Vibes Breakfast Club tomorrow, 9 to 11, Newcomb's Ranch. And then see you next week. Love you. Awesome.